So with Division 5, I chose to look at the feminist standpoint theory, and I thought that this one was very, very interesting. Um, my understanding of it is that it's marginalized groups, obviously, particularly women in this standpoint, develop a very unique and powerful perspective because of their social positions. Rather than kind of looking at it as neutral or objective, I kind of understood or took it that the insight from oppressed standpoints, like women have often been oppressed and even now can be and see that in society very often. Especially particularly from looking at it, women of color or LGBTQ people, it reveals their power structures that a more dominant kind of perspective often doesn't seem to get. For me personally, I enjoy and I do watch the WNBA, and I have 3 younger sisters who all enjoy and play basketball. So for me, I kind of took that and looked at it, because when I think of the NBA, it's purely entertainment. It's interesting. I love watching all of those things, doing everything involved with that. Where the WNBA more so looks kind of almost like a standpoint that's a different type of league. Just because of everything socially, it's a very unaccepted thing, especially on social media. That's something that gets a lot of hate that I don't necessarily agree with and all of that. But the players are also constantly and very good about speaking out on racial injustice, gender equality for them, getting a fair share of pay, the rights for LGBTQ players, as a lot of players represent that themselves. That maybe, it's more so directed at them than the male-dominated league, where the leagues receive a lot less flack and hate thrown their way. And just their standpoint on women, as women, sorry. They have a much more distinct, grounded view on those social justices, those social issues, because they're the ones actually living that. And it helped me kind of take a deeper understanding of why their voices carry so deeply and so often, that they're not necessarily just observing the system and seeing it from the outside, that they're actually in it and a part of it and facing these things constantly. So that was a big point for me, kind of being able to further look into some things, like even just like social media posts where players received hate, or like a tweet or a trade or something like that received backlash for next to no reason. Just kind of being able to not necessarily step back and look at it from a different perspective, just because I can't really ever understand the perspective of a woman. Just as a person, I'm a man. I am not going to pretend that I know what that is ever going to be like. But I just think being able to actually kind of view it and see how differently it is for them versus just looking from the outside in, that was very interesting for me.